Okay, for one vertical pocket, I cut this 4.5 by 4. 4, and there's the 4.5. Now we're going to score the 4-inch side at 3.5 and at 1/2. Turn and make one score for the bottom of the pocket at 1/2. Oops. Stay there. Okay. Take your scissors and at the corner, you can see this, make a little angle cut to the point, cutting out each corner on just the bottom. But to remove some of the bulk, we're doing it at a little angle cut. So you should have a flap that looks like that. Find the bump, fold into the flaps, and that makes a pocket. And we're going to put score tape on the back. I'm going to go ahead and use just 1/4 inch score tape on the flaps. So you fold the flaps in and then put the score tape down on the flap on the back side of the pocket. Okay, let's peel the tape backing off. And add a little bit of glue just to make them secure, really extra secure, where the score tape is not on it. The score tape is really sticky, but I'm also afraid that if you have humidity that it might turn loose. I take this page and I'm going to stick this in just a little bit from the edge and mat that down. Now if you were going to ink it, probably should have inked it before we stuck it in, but I think I can still ink it. It's just going to get some on the page, but that's okay because we're going to be covering that with paper. And then if you want to ink your pages, you can go ahead and do all that now. I don't want a real heavy inking, I just kind of want enough where the papers are going to go, the edging. Now if you want this all one solid paper underneath this pocket, then you could put the paper on before you put the pocket on. I think I'm going to do some paper piecing with some scraps is the reason I went ahead and put it on. Okay, so you would do that throughout all your pages to ink it. And for right now, I'm going to stop and cut some paper for some waterfalls. I like waterfalls, so we're going to do that. Be back a little bit. So for some waterfall pages, I cut out 6 craft pieces, 5.5 by 5. And then you score on the 5.5 inch side at 1/2. So you have your 5.5 across the top and then score at 1/2 inch. And do all 6 pages. Fold into the raised bump edge side and fold the big piece into the hinge. This one I had already folded. And now we're going to round the corners, or stub the corners. Let's see, which do we want to do? I think for this one I may stub them. Let's see how they look. And you would just do it on the two corners opposite your hinge, your score line. Now I made 6 of these in the hopes that I can get them all on one page. Now the next thing we need to do is cover this one page with patterned paper. Okay, let's measure this. I need a piece of paper in here that is, let's say 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So that's probably what all our pages are going to be, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 for our patterned papers. And do we want this? See, we're not counting, we're not going to cover the pattern paper over the fold line where the gussets are. So I'm going to do this. Or do we want this? I'll go with the blue for now. Let's ink that. Look at the lettering, make sure it's going the right direction. And we'll use some glue. Whoops. Burnish with your hand. Next we're going to ink all of these. Need to add score tape to each flap on one side, like that. Okay, we're going to put 3 on this page, and then we'll do the other 3 on a different page. So peel the backing off and line it up to the top. There, then flip it up and line up the next one. That one. Flip it up and line up the next one. I'm putting it about 1/8 of an inch below the other fold, like that. Let's see, I think I want this other one down a little bit more. See if I can lift it up. Okay, where it lines up at the bottom of the page. These are bigger ones than I normally do, so I may put a little closure here on this one. And then we're going to, let's see what pages those are on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 5. Let's do another set. think I'm going to do a set here on this side. So I need to get some pattern paper, and I'll be right back.